what's up? Welcome back to the Jesse Lee Falls podcast. This is my cat Laverne. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We're always talking about the micro music business, right, guys? And that is because the micro side of this business is where we can really have change and effect, and we can see positive outcomes and progress and real productivity through our own hard works, and we can set everything up so that we can start making some little bits of money. And we're going to talk about micro pennies and stuff, everything micro pretty much on this channel. So yeah, let's talk about the micro pennies. If you guys aren't set up, with your DistroKid or your CD baby, you guys got to get it together. I know a lot of us, we already, we're already there. So this isn't, to you guys, this is really about the micro bands out there, the guys that are out there that really just don't know what to do. If you guys aren't doing your due diligence as far as getting your revenue streams set up, we're going to talk about that. So I can only really speak from experience and what I'm going through right now and what I've done. So I know I keep talking about my new product my new CD product. Gosh, I'm in business mode for sure. So I released a new album in March, and what I've been doing is, I got that into CD baby because I had disc makers make my album, and yes, I actually made physical copies, and I know a lot of people laugh at that, but I play live and those physical copies sell. I sold 100 CDs within, let's see, I got them in March, and I was out of CDs in like a month and a half, maybe two. It was like maybe 2 months. So, they say, oh, well, CDs don't sell, and people kind of laugh, when I tell them I have a CD for them. But they do sell. They do, especially if you're playing live. That's where they sell, and they sell in two different ways. The physical product will actually sell, and this is something that I even saw Tony Van Veen put on his disc maker's site, which was, what you do is you set your CDs up next to your tip jar, and a lot of times people will actually, like what happened with me just a couple months ago was, I was playing out of town, and I did exactly that. It was just something that came to us. We, set the tip jar up next to the CDs. Well, people started tipping us, and they weren't even taking CDs. So after I saw that we had like well over $100 in the tip jar, what I did was I kind of paid attention, while we were on stage of who was tipping us. And so I went and I made sure that, if they gave us a $20 bill, if I saw them put a $20 bill in there, then I went up there and I gave them a CD, and they were super appreciative of it. But it was really funny. It's like they'd rather like tip us, and then they wouldn't even take anything. It was just like, you guys got to be kidding me, And there were a few people that did, but the majority of people that tipped us, they didn't take anything. So I just, was like, well, this is an opportunity. I mean, they tipped us $20. I mean, they're getting a CD. So, and when I did that, they were even more appreciative. And so it was like, I really felt like, hey, we really made a fan there. So CDs are totally relevant. I know, it's shows how much of a dinosaur you are, but I don't really care about the stigma that comes with that, because we all know that digital sales are, you know, you should be setting yourself up with the digital sales, and that's what I'm talking about right now. Is that's the micro money. And I know that it seems to be kind of counterproductive when we're talking about, well, CDs you can get dollars for, $10, and how many streams it takes to equal, $10 through streaming, and it takes a while. It's going to take a lot of songs, a lot of streams. Um, but that's relevant as well. You need to set yourself up that way. And that's because even if you are on the micro level, this is about starting somewhere. You have to start somewhere. So, I make these videos because I want people to really just like get that macro, that grandiosity, narcissistic grandiosity kind of crap. Just get that out of your heads. Just get it out of your heads. That's just I'm not saying that you shouldn't be dreaming big, and thinking big. You can do that all you want as long as you're the one who's supplying it. If you're thinking big because you think that somebody else out there is going to help you achieve that, yeah, I'm sorry, but that's just not the way things work, especially in today's times where everybody's a narcissist. I hate to break it to you guys, but everybody just cares about themselves. When people respond to each other on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, they're not responding to anybody because they care about what that person thinks. It's all about the individual. So it makes it really hard. It makes it a lot harder for marketing, and we have to be even more creative with our marketing and to be able to cut through narcissistic nihilism, I would say. Nihilism is where you don't find any meaning in life or the world. And if you're an artist, I mean, that's pretty much all we do. We see patterns where sometimes there aren't patterns, but that's our creative mind. We do find meaning. We find meaning in places where maybe there isn't, and that's our gift. Honestly, I mean, that's how I feel. So set yourself up, you guys. Get your micro penny revenue streams set up. I'll use myself as an example right now. I check my CD Baby account probably like once or twice a week. Probably a little too often, but because I just released something, I'm kind of just making sure that things are moving, and it seems like every week and a half or so I'm seeing a 60-cent jump in my account. And I know that seems really kind of silly, but I mean, we're talking about the last time I paid attention to my CD Baby account was like before I had released my album, and my account was at like $17. Well, it sat at $17 for like, I don't know, probably like 10 years. Like maybe like 9 years. I think I got a check from CD Baby for $20 like 9 years ago. So, it's been sitting at $17 for 9 years. So then I put this new album out, and I've been promoting it, like fairly okay. I'm certainly not cramming it down people's throats, I just don't do that. I don't overly promote myself. So my point is that I started paying attention to the CD Baby account, and since I released it like 3 months ago, it's making these 60-cent jumps, and so it climbed $5 in a matter of two to 3 months, and it took 9 years for it to hit $17. So I would say that I'm on a little bit better of a trajectory as far as like, you know, those micro pennies starting to really add up. And I know it seems kind of silly, but we all know that when it comes to the virtual world, there is a potential to be hitting millions of streams. I mean, there's endless potential there. And so it's not for nothing, because if you do happen to put something out where you get, you know, maybe even 100,000 streams, that's not nothing. That's certainly not nothing. Um, and then also utilizing YouTube as another revenue stream, um, to monetize through, because you can monetize through it. You know, you have to hit you have to hit certain um, marks as far as, you know, how many hours are viewed in a year, and how many you have to have a certain amount of subscribers, and you know, so there's these landmarks that you have to basically have these prerequisites that you have to have in order to monetize. But you can do it. It's like nothing is easy. And so these little micro ways to make money are very important, because there's, you know, there's substantial money there if something does get viewed, you know, several times. So that's pretty much where I kind of wanted to go with that today, was to just, we're always going to go back to, you know, everything micro, everything, just I want to talk about everything on small levels, um because that's how you're going to you're if you take those micro units. Oh, and by the way, you're going to hear a lot of terminology. I watch a lot of Jordan Peterson, and so you're probably going to hear some terminology that I'm, because I picked up some different terminology from JP that I just, you know, I've adopted, because it just makes the most sense. It seems to be the clearest way to get things across. So if you're hearing certain things like that, then I just want you to know, like, I give full credit to Jordan Peterson. If you haven't seen any of his videos, definitely check him out, because he's a game changer. It's a life changer. Part of the reason, another big reason why I'm doing this podcast. This is called about, it's you know, we got to do, we have to do, and even though we don't know what we're doing, I'm going to keep coming back to that theme. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you need to do, and you should be approaching it like a kid, having fun, a kid at play. You know, that's why I went with the album title, Caution Funky Kids at Play. And Jordan Peterson talks a lot about, you know, your ideas. Like, you need to sift through your ideas, because most new ideas are bad, stupid, and dangerous. There was also this great speech that he had about, just, you know, when you do try to do things and you don't really know what you're doing, sometimes you're gonna, you know, overshoot, or you're gonna make these course corrections to where, you know, the course corrections get smaller and smaller, you know. But it's really important, like, that's what musicians do. You know, we sift through our ideas. We write some bad songs before we get to that really great song, and that's what we have to do. You know, we have to sift through our own ideas. Something I've always told people is that if you can be even quasi successful with the music business, you could probably crush any business landscape that you want to get into. You know, that's how I feel about it, because I think that it's so multidimensional. You have to be creative, and then you also have to be analytical, because you have to make a product. You have to be creative enough to make a cool product, but you also have to be smart enough to want to make that an actual product that people are gonna see as utilitarian. So that's, you know, good luck. That's really the trick to music.